Hey guys, welcome back. Mr. Will here. Video lesson for Feed Me Pie and Divide and Conquer for the day 5/5/2020. Happy May 5th. So we are working on finding equivalent expressions today. Okay, finding equivalent expressions. Now, when we are trying to find equivalent expressions, what we want to do in order to find them and see if they're equivalent is to simplify them. And what that means is we're going to be putting like terms together. So you have your variable terms and your constant terms. Okay. So when you look at this expression here, I have 7 minus 3 times 4 minus 2x minus 10x. Now, what we're trying to do is there is no equal sign in this. So we are not solving it. We're simply simplifying it. When we simplify it, what that means is we're putting all of our numbers together, okay, our constant terms, and all of our variables. So our variable terms, in this case, it's x. It could be any number. I'm sorry, any letter that represents a number, and we're trying to put them together. We're grouping them together. Constant terms, variable terms. Okay. Now I have 3 students who did their work, and we're going to look at what they did to solve this equation, and we're going to see what they did incorrectly, and then we're going to solve it. So this equation is here, here, and here. It's 3 times. 3 different students solved it, and we're going to look at what they did. Okay. So I'm going to try to change colors each time I did it. So the first student started with, oops, that's an eraser, not a pencil. So I have 7 minus 3 times 4 minus 2x minus 10. And they simplified it down, which is great, where they had the whole number or constant terms and variable terms, which is great. That's what you want to do. You want to simplify it so that it looks like this. But wait a minute. When I look here, it looks like the very first thing that this student did was they subtracted 7 minus 3. Now, when we are solving these, or I should say simplifying these, we want to remember our orders of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And what we do is we solve the parentheses first. Okay, so I have a parentheses here. So what I first need to do is I would need to do the distributive property of multiplication. And I would take this -3 and I would multiply the 4 and 2x by that -3. Okay, so this student subtracted 7 minus 3 before multiplying. So this student is wrong. Okay, all right, let's go to the next one. Same equation. Let's see how this person solved it. It looks like 7 minus 3 times 4 minus 2x minus 10x. Okay, looks like the first step going from the original expression to the second step is look like they combined this 4 minus 2x, which is great because that's where we want to start. We want to start in the parentheses. But what's the problem with that? Well, if I have 4, I can't subtract 4 minus 2x because this is a constant term, the 4, and this 2x is a variable term. So you can't subtract one away from the other. Okay, so this would be right off this bat, because they subtracted a constant term and a variable term, this would be wrong. Okay, last one. Let me get a snazzy color down here. Okay, I have 7 minus 3 times 4 minus 2x minus 10x. Okay, let's see what they did here. Oh, look, great. They multiplied this 3 times 4 because they know that the first step that they need to do is take care of the parentheses. And in this case, they do that by the distributive property of multiplication. So they multiplied this -3 by 4 and got -12. And then they multiplied this -3 by oh, wait a minute. They didn't multiply the -3 by both terms. They only multiplied it by the first one, the 4. They needed to multiply it by this one as well. So this would be wrong. All right, so let's see over here if we can solve our equation. I'm sorry, simplify our expression. Make sure I get my terms right. Simplify the expression correctly. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do, and we talked about this before, is we want to take care of this parentheses. We do that by using the distributive property of multiplication. So I'm going to multiply this 3 by this 4 here, and this 3 by this -2. So in doing that, I have 7 minus 12, and it's minus 12 because I have -3 times 4, and that gives you -12. And now I have a negative times a negative. A negative times a negative is actually a positive. So it would be plus 6x minus 10x. Now, again, we are not solving this. We're just trying to put our constant terms together and our variable term together. Oops, I'm so sorry. This should be 6x. Wow, my bad. Okay, good. So we're just trying to put them together. So I have 7 minus 12, and 7 minus 12 is going to give me -5. Okay, you find the difference and take the value of the larger number. So 7 minus 5 would be -5. And then I do the same thing over here. I have 6x minus 10x. So I find the difference between the two and take the value of the bigger one, which would be -10. So it would be minus 4x. So the correct answer when we simplify this expression would be -5 minus 4x. So you can see what some of the other students did incorrectly, see how you solved it correctly, and know that we're going to continue to work on this, and we're going to be simplifying expressions, and we can do that. Then we can compare two expressions to see if they truly are equivalent. So please, please, please work hard, ask questions, and I'll see you back here on Thursday. See you soon.